Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I'm going to do your May the 27th just for today in a meditation. I hope that you're doing well this morning. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at Recovery of Hope 21 at gmail.com. Okay, the title of today's meditation, Meeting the Day's Challenge. The decision to ask for God's help is our greatest source of strength and courage. That comes from our basic text, page 26. A challenge is anything that dares us to succeed. Things new and unfamiliar serve as challenges, whether those things appear good or bad to us. We are challenged by obstacles and opposition from within ourselves and from without. New and difficult things, obstacles and opposition, all are a part of life on life's terms. Living clean means learning to meet challenges. Many of us, consciously or unconsciously, took drugs to avoid meeting challenges. Many of us were equally afraid of failure and success. Each time we declined the day's challenge, we suffered a loss of self-esteem. Some of us used drugs to mask the shame we felt. Each time we did that, we became even less able to meet our challenges and more likely to use. Let me repeat that last sentence. Each time we did that, we became even less able to meet our challenges and more likely to use. By working the NA program, we found the tools we need to successfully meet any challenge. We've come to believe in a power greater than ourselves, a power that cares for our will and our lives. We've asked that power to remove our character defects, those things that made our lives unmanageable. We've taken action to improve our conscious contact with that higher power. Through the steps, we've been given the ability to stop using drugs and start living. Each day, we are faced with new challenges, and each day, through working our program of recovery, we are given the grace to meet those challenges. Just for today, I will ask my higher power to help me squarely meet today's challenge. Let's take a moment of silence. I almost said a moment of mighty stream. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the serenity prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. Meeting the day's challenge. This is where having a relationship with God can be very, very helpful. The type of relationship where the conscious contact is maintained throughout the course of one's day through prayer, which is simply, I believe, pouring out one's heart, talking, thinking about, writing about. Prayer can take many different forms. So through prayer and meditation, and the meditation moves you into the more silent self awareness, being able to understand your responses and understand that sometimes those responses are indicators of the things that we need to do or not do. So, in that moment of silence and practicing uh, self awareness and awareness of what's going on in our inner selves, this gives us an opportunity to know what we've been praying about, how it is making us feel, the actualization of it. So, let me give you an example and then we'll go on, okay? I'm praying. This is a simple example. I am praying for friendships. They don't necessarily have to be in recovery. However, I am interested in the friendships where my dialogue with the individual can easily incorporate my belief systems as far as God is concerned. I don't want to be in a position where in my friendships, I am the one that is pouring out or giving so much um, information, advice, or just stories to tell. And I want it to be a two-way street. And I want to be able to easily interpret in terms of spirituality what is being shared. I don't necessarily need to understand it and have it broken down in a sense where it makes sense to me. People's own situations are theirs. I don't need it to make sense to me. I just need the dialogue, the interaction. So, in other words, I am lonely for relationships with individuals that have a relationship with God, are intimate in that relationship, and have an experience that they want to share in dialogue back and forth with me about. Okay. So here I am, I'm praying for friendships. Now, because I've been very specific about what I'm praying about, asking for, when I have an opportunity to sit down and talk to someone and they are indicating that they're looking for the same thing, and we're sitting and we're talking, the meditation part can easily come to me as I'm listening, as I'm quiet. Everything that they're saying, now I am filtering through the request for that prayer, the request of that prayer, right? I'm aware as to whether or not I'm peaceful. I have a sense of peace when they're talking. I'm aware if the pace at which they're speaking causes me anxiety or not. If they're just rambling, not pausing, they're only interested in what they have to say, that creates something within my inner being. And I'm aware of that. So, with just those two examples, my body, self awareness, paying attention to my spirit self, which is the meditation part, being quiet enough to hear what's going on within me, and being able for me to be able to process it and put it in perspective about whether or not this brings me peace and calmness or whether this causes me anxiety. That determines how far I would go with that potential friendship. Okay. So, prayer and meditation, people get stuck on the word prayer, but they don't realize that there's so many forms of prayer that even if you say you don't believe in prayer, you probably are already praying. I hate to say that, but you're probably already communicating what you're feeling, what you need in some form or fashion, and making an ask or believing that there's going to be a manifestation of what it is you need. Okay. So prayer takes different forms. Meditation also takes different forms. You have Middle Eastern type style meditation, where they clear the mind and they're looking for enlightenment and they have these different chakras. You have that. I don't do that, nor am I interested in that form of meditation. That is not for me. Okay. But it may be for someone else. My form of meditation is making sure that my breathing is deep enough where it calms me and it brings me self-awareness, so that as stuff is being processed and delivered to me from my higher power, like a download, I have an understanding about whether or not this is beneficial or not, or if this is what I'm supposed to be doing or not. It gives me the direction about what I need to do. That's one form of meditation that I do practice. Now, there's a one that is just stillness, and I am practicing just being still. I'm not interested in the information download or anything like that. Self-awareness only to the extent that my breathing is deep and I am absolutely still. And that is restorative to me. That turns back the hands of time to me and causes the effects of stress to be diminished. And as much of that as I can possibly get, I know my health is better. Everything about me is just absolutely better. So those are two forms of meditation that I practice. Okay. So the thing about the 11th step is that we're asking God for knowledge of his will and the power to carry that out. So as we go through the day and tasks are being presented to us, some of them we've created, some of them we've accepted as a part of a position or a job, or just because we love someone, we've accepted being a part of bringing whatever they need into fruition. Okay. So all of these tasks that we take on are not always going to flow so easily. There's going to be challenges, there's going to be opposition to them, obstacles, and we have to set the bar for how we're going to respond to those. Because if I take on a task that I truly believe is God given, is something that I'm supposed to be doing, then when the challenges come, I already have been given the strength, the power to carry it out. So all I need to know is that the end result is positive. In this particular challenge, I can face it and deal with it squarely. I don't have to run from it, because the longer I avoid dealing with the obstacle or the challenge or acknowledging it, right? And making a firm decision about, the courage to change the things I can, right? The wisdom to know which things I need to surrender to. The longer I struggle with that, the longer the end result is delayed. Because not only is that a lesson that I need to learn, but it's something that I need to overcome, so that when it comes back up again, I take less time. I can see it coming down a mile down the road, and I take less time having to navigate around it. This is a very serious meditation and a very helpful meditation. And I just really feel that if we want to really move forward in our lives, that we have to have a relationship with a God of our own understanding. And we have to have the type of relationship, not just in words, but truly an intimate one that allows us to understand what we're supposed to be doing and know that we have the power already given to us to do those things that we are supposed to be doing. See, because if you don't have that relationship, you'll find yourself doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. and exerting a lot of energy and power. And then when it comes to the things that you're supposed to be doing, you're so tired, you don't have the energy to do the things, but you had originally been given the power to do them, right? And I truly believe I have bold faith, so I truly believe that even when I'm encountered with this imbalance where my energy is distracted from what I'm supposed to be doing, when I get to what I'm supposed to be doing, it really is just a mindset about whether or not I want to do it in the condition that I'm in. Because I can be depleted, I can be worn out. Um, yeah, you have no idea. I could be depleted, worn out, not even sometimes able to sit upright because of the equilibrium issues. Um, Maybe having taken a bad, stumble or fall because of the equilibrium, and still be able to set my mind on the things that have been given to me to do and that I have already prayed about it, meditated about it, and been given the power to accomplish it. So now I just need to check my attitude and be about the business of actually doing it. And I find that when I go into that and I actually do it, between you and I, it's like my higher power just expedites the situation. He increases the speed of which I'm able to accomplish the same thing that would normally take me a week to do. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to talk to you tomorrow.